What's your favorite scary movie?
Dude, we're on the same side. We're on the same.
What's your
We're on the same
favorite
freaking side. Come on.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is happening, wonderful people? So last night I got a chance to go see Scream 7, and in this film, when a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sydney has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, she must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. And that's all I can say without giving too much away. Let's talk about it. So, Scream 7. When it comes to Scream 7 and when it comes to this franchise as a whole, I absolutely love these movies. I really do. But they're all fun in their own way. They really are. And I have been over the moon excited for this one. I have been over the moon excited for Scream 7. I really have. And I know over the past year, maybe almost year and a half, something like that. Maybe almost 2 years now, something on the lines of that. There have been a lot of people who have been excited for this movie, but there's also been a group of people who have not been excited for this movie. And everyone has their own opinion as well. I get that, and I understand a lot of people aren't excited for this movie. The reason a lot of people have not been excited for this movie is mainly because of what went on behind the scenes with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, all of the spyglass drama and all that type of stuff. And I really tried to not let that curve my excitement for this movie, because I am a fan of this franchise. Now, having seen Scream 7 and the other 6 films, this franchise has not let me down yet. It has not let me down yet, and I love this franchise. I really do like this franchise. I think it's honestly the best horror franchise. It's been the most consistent horror franchise. And I, for one, though, again, didn't let that curve my excitement, really. Sure, I'm upset that both of them wouldn't be returning, because I really liked both of their characters. Tara and Sam, played by Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I liked their characters as a whole. I really did. And I liked their relationship in the last 2 movies. I really did. And it really bummed me out that we wouldn't see the core 4 in here, because I loved seeing them with Chad and Mindy in the last 2 films. Their chemistry as a whole, the core 4 was one of the best parts about Scream 6 and really Scream 5. I know in Scream 5 they weren't really called the core 4, but in Scream 6 they were implemented as the core 4, and that was one of my favorite things about Scream 6. I love Scream 6 for other reasons besides the core 4, but that was probably my favorite thing about the movie. I really love their dynamic and chemistry in there. But I do love that they finally came to a deal with Neve Campbell. I really did. And that she finally returned as Sidney Prescott. I absolutely love that she finally returned, because I remember years ago when I think they were still going through a deal or something like that, trying to get her back. And I was like, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get her back, but they did, and they announced Scream 7. I was like, oh man, this is going to be fun. They're going to take it back to the roots of the OG. Like, I'm really excited about that. Even though I love all of the films, and even though I love these newer films like this one, 6, 5, and 4, they're really taking it back to the OG, which I'm really pumped about. And especially with Kevin Williamson writing again. You know, he wrote the original Scream, Scream 1, Scream 2, and Scream 4. And it was really cool because this is the first Scream that he's directed. He hasn't directed another Scream film, so I was excited to see him write and direct. But even then, at the same time, the marketing for this film was not that great. They released the first teaser, the first trailer months ago, back in like October or whatever. And then the second trailer was the final trailer, and that released earlier this week. And I started to read negative reviews online a couple of days ago, and later on I'll make a Scream franchise ranking as well. I'll have that up in a few days or something like that. But after walking out of Scream 7, I had a blast with it. I did. So if you're new to my channel, or if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I like to talk about my positives first, then my negatives next. But even when I need to be negative, I will be positive. And even when I need to be positive, I will be negative as well. And overall, Scream 7 is not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not the best film in the franchise. It's not the worst film in the franchise. But it's an absolute blast. As a Scream fan, I walked in having expectations, and I walked out really enjoying myself, even though it's not perfect, even though though it has its flaws. Like I said again, it's not the best in the franchise. Like I said as well, it's not the worst in the franchise. It's definitely up there in my opinion, but in my opinion as well, it's definitely in the middle. It's like in the middle, close to the top. And as a fan of this franchise, it honestly has not let me down yet. Sure, some movies are better than others, but I really do think that this has been the most consistent horror franchise yet. And this one isn't the best film of the franchise. It's not, but it's definitely not the worst either. And I love the overall vibe in here. It really reminded me of Halloween 2018 from a few years back, which I absolutely love. And it reminded me as well of the original Scream, which I love as well. But it reminded me of both of those mixed together, blended together, Halloween 2018 and the original Scream, especially with the story that's told in here. Like the story that they went with in here, it did remind me how it went down plot point wise, and a lot of the like tropes and cliches in here. It really did remind me of Halloween 2018 and the original Scream, and you'll see what I'm talking about when you see the movie. And that may bug a few people, especially with how paper thin the story is. It doesn't really reinvent the wheel or anything, but that didn't take me out of it. I actually really enjoyed it, even though it's not perfect, even though it doesn't shy away from being cheesy at times, even though it doesn't shy away from having the same cliches and tropes that you've seen in all the Scream films. We're all used to it by now. And as someone who loves the OG Scream and Halloween 2018, that really did work for me. And I love seeing Neve Campbell back as Sidney in here. I think she absolutely knocked it out of the park. She always does. She has knocked out of the park in every single film she's been in, except Scream 6 because she wasn't in that one. But Sidney's always been a great character in my opinion. I know a lot of people would agree. She always has been. But after watching this movie, she's easily one of my favorite movie characters, not in this, just in the Scream franchise, but in movie cinematic history in general. Like, she's just a cool character, and she just is so just fun to watch on screen. Just her one-liners and just her as a final girl, she absolutely knocks it out of the park. She always has. And Isabella May's in here as well, who plays Sidney's daughter in here, Tatum. Y'all saw her in the trailer. She was such a great character in here. She really was. She was an absolute standout, and you really care deeply about their relationship, her, Tatum, and Sidney Prescott, you're her mom. You really do care about their relationship in here. Like, right when you see both of them on screen together, you feel that mother and daughter relationship. Not so much the bond, but you understand where Tatum's coming from, because she wants to, in a way, be free, and she wants to do her thing. But at the same time, you have Sidney, who, the flip side of the coin, the opposite side of the coin, she's trying to protect her, and she doesn't want her to go down the same path that she went down in the original films like years ago. You care about their relationship, and you understand that Sidney's trying to protect her in here. And that plot element is what reminded me of Halloween 2018 in a way, and that really worked for me. It did. And I do love the overall aspect and theme of motherhood in here. You could tell that Sidney's worried. You could tell that she's scared, but you see her heart in here. You do. And she would do anything to protect not only her daughter, but her family as well. And we also get Courtney Cox back as Gail in here. She has a decent sized role, and my audience actually clapped when she appeared. It was a really cool moment. It's always good to see her. My audience actually clapped when she appeared. It was a really, really cool moment. And I won't say how she appears, but when she does, it's a really fun moment. And my crowd clapped. They clapped, and I was clapping too. I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I love seeing the siblings back in here. Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding as Chad and Mindy. They're part of the core four. I absolutely love seeing both of them, whether they were in Scream 5, Scream 6, and this one. They have a decent sized role in here. They have a decent sized role, but not like a big role. Same with Courtney Cox. She has a decent sized role, but not like a big role. But it was cool to see all of them, all three of them. And McKenna Grace and Celeste O'Connor in here as well as Hannah and Chloe. Celeste O'Connor has a big size role. She has like a decent sized role, and it's always good to see her. I thought she was fun in here. And it's always good to see McKenna Grace as well. She doesn't have like a big role in here, but she has a somewhat decent sized role towards the beginning, and they were a fun addition. It was always good to see them. And I think that the kills in here are more brutal than they've ever been in the franchise. Like, think Scream 6 with how brutal Scream 6 was, because it was. But look at this movie when you watch it and times that by 10. It's brutal. Like, there are scenes where I had to look away. I was like, oh, I do not want to see that. That is, oh, dude, why they went down? Oh, did not expect that. But okay. And I even think that Ghostface in here is more ruthless than ever as well. Like, I think Ghostface has been ruthless in all of the films, especially Scream 6. But this one, oh boy. Like, there are things that he does in here that I'm just like, I did not expect him to do that at all. Like, man, that's crazy. Like, what? How did that even register in your mind? Like, that's crazy. And you saw the opening in the trailer. I won't give anything away, but the opening really does hook you, and it'll probably put a smile on your face. If you're a big Scream fan, it will. And it put a smile on my face, and it hooked me right from the beginning. And some people might get annoyed by the nostalgia beats in here, but they honestly work for me. I think it even elevated my experience. And I saw this movie in Dolby. I did, and the sound design in here is really, really good. It's great. Whether it's the gunshots in here, whether it's the sound of the knife cutting somebody, whether it's the knife like stabbing through something else, it sounded great. Like, it sounded great. The sound design, you have to see it in Dolby. Like, I would recommend seeing this movie in Dolby. And because I was so engaged with this story, even though it's not perfect, I didn't feel the runtime at all. I really didn't feel like the pacing was bad. Maybe it dragged here and there, maybe it dragged at times, but I thought for the most part, the pacing was good. And it's easily the funniest film in the franchise as well. And while I do love Scream 5, and while that is a great legacy sequel, I will say this one did feel more like a legacy sequel, and I thought that totally worked. And the movie keeps you guessing on who the killer's gonna be, and I honestly didn't see it coming. The reveal of the killer, like when the killer was revealed at the end, I didn't see that coming. But when we do get that reveal, when it is revealed in the end, it honestly did not work for me. It did not work for me. I know I said this movie's not perfect, but I know I said at the same time, I did enjoy the film for the most part. I had a blast with it, but I do have some issues with it as well. The killer reveal at the end did not work for me. I actually just watched Scream 3 for the first time earlier today, and I think the killer reveal in Scream 3 is really bad. I'm not a fan of that killer reveal in that one, but I will say this. I think the killer reveal in this movie is the worst in the franchise. Yes, even worse than Scream 3. I think it is the worst in the franchise. It's very lame. And I think that was the worst part of the movie for me, in my opinion. And in my opinion as well, it's definitely the weakest part of the movie. The motive of the person behind the mask doesn't make a lick of sense, like, at all. Like, it honestly feels silly and just straight up lame. And when they revealed the killer in here, I was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I honestly didn't see it coming, so I will give the movie that. Like, when the killer was revealed, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't expect that. But at the same time, that's really lame, man. That's really lackluster. It really was. And the motive of the person behind the mask didn't make a lick of sense. It really didn't. And it honestly felt silly and just straight up lame. And I was expecting someone bigger to be behind the mask. You know, you've heard rumors about who it could be. Someone that would make you go, no way. What? That's crazy. Like, oh, I heard rumors, but I didn't actually expect it to be that person. And it's not anything like that at all. And while I really was engaged throughout the movie, like I said, it's not perfect. It's not at all. It definitely takes a while to get going. It does. And while we do get a lot of Ghostface kills in here, while we do get a lot of Ghostface action in here, I love a lot of the action set pieces in here, and I love a lot of the kills in here. I think a lot of them are very creative in here. I would have liked more. Like, we did get a lot of Ghostface, like, shenanigans in here, Ghostface, like, kills, brutal kills in here. I would have liked a little bit more, and the tone may throw some people off. I know the Scream movies are meta. They are goofy. You know what you're gonna get. You know what story you're gonna get. But the tone may throw some people off. It may take some people out of it. It didn't take me out of it though. And the movie doesn't shy away from having the same cliches and tropes that you've seen before. The story's very easy to read. It's very paper thin. You know exactly how it's going to go down plot point wise. You've seen this movie before. If you've seen Halloween 2018 and the original Scream, you know I talked about earlier on in the review how it's kind of like a blend of both of those, which, like I said, didn't take me out of it. You kind of can guess how the story's going to go. It's very cookie cutter. You've seen it before, and it doesn't have the same energized like punch as Scream 5 and 6 in my opinion. So yeah, overall with Scream 7, as a huge Scream fan, I really am. I love all of the movies, including Scream 7, even though none of these films are perfect in my opinion. I walked in having big expectations and I walked out having an absolute blast. So with Scream 7, I will give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. And with Scream 7, I will say dedicate your time if you're a Scream fan. If you've been a fan of the Scream franchise and movies for years, even if you've been a fan since the 90s, if you grew up with this franchise, if you have nostalgia for this franchise, I think you might enjoy this one. So that'll wrap up this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share in this video. We just hit 1K subs a while back. We're now at 1.2K. And the next big milestone is 2K, 3K after that, beyond that as well. If you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie live streams, movie news, movie rankings, all that wonderful movie stuff under the movie umbrella. And let's talk about in the comments down below. Did you like Scream 7? Did you not like Scream 7? Or are you going to go see it in theaters? Or are you going to wait to watch it on streaming? Let's talk about it down below. Keep talking movies and wonderful people. And what's your favorite scary movie?